Okay. Let's do this. Hey designers, what's going on? My name is FimeMD and I'm a UX UI designer in Toronto with over 13 plus years of experience. And today I am going to design something quite basic, UI on Adobe XD, and I hope all your questions gets answered in this video because I get a lot of questions asked how to design on Adobe XD, what do I use? So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so those of you who do not know me, I love anime. So in this video, I am going to take this Netflix style UI and fuse it into Crunchyroll's UI. By the way, this is a website that I go to watch all of my anime and I love it. It's not a paid sponsorship video whatsoever, not at all. And it will look something like this. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I've used drop shadow, how I've imported images, text format, sizes, and all of those good stuff. So let's go ahead and start. And I hope you guys start with me as well. So if you have Adobe XD or not, please go ahead and download that and let's create a new file right now. First and foremost, what you do is you go to the Adobe website and download the Adobe XD. Don't click on buy now, just click on the start free trial. Find out if you're going to like Adobe XD or not. Do you think it's better than Figma, Sketch, whatever you prefer. Create a new account with your Facebook or Google, and then something like this will pop up. This is called the Creative Cloud. Make sure you guys have this as well. It's also on the Adobe website. Okay, so you are going to open this Creative Cloud right over here and click open. By now, hopefully you have downloaded this format. These are all the recent projects that I have worked on, which if this is the first time, you probably have nothing in it. Click on Web 1920 and automatically, as you can see, Adobe XD will give you the size. Okay, now before you begin, let me tell you some basic stuff. This right here is your arrow. You can click, drag, pretty much move objects and things like that. These are the shapes that you can use. Line. If you have used Adobe Illustrator in the past, you will be quite familiar with this tool right over here. What else is here? Let's see. This is the text. Type whatever you want, and then this right here is the artboard. So what you can do is you can create your own artboard like that. So you just click and drag, or you can go on the right side and pick the format that you will be designing your project in. So it could be mobile, tablet, desktop, social media. Now that's a great feature. This here is actually new. And then the watch. So we are going to do desktop for now, which is right here. Get rid of this. So the first thing what you're going to do is you're going to double click on the artboard name, which is Web 1920. So click on that, and I am going to rename it to Crunchyroll because that is the project that I am going to be working on. More artboards you create, you can rename it to more based on the page name. For example, you can name it detail page, payment, search results, menu, login, logout, so on and so forth. So I personally like calling these screens because it makes more sense than artboard to me. So it's just a personal thing. As you can see, if I do not click on this right here, everything here is disabled on the right hand side. So once I do, I have options to pretty much play around with. I can change the color. I can change the size and also manually. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to create a grid. So this grid will help you a lot in the future when you are planning on creating this desktop UI into mobile. So from desktop, tablet, and mobile, this grid will be very helpful. I will create another video about this. For now, let's focus on the desktop. The first thing what we're going to do is we're going to create this huge background banner, and then we're going to work on the menu, logo, and things like that. So let's start bit by bit. So we're going to click right here. It's a rectangular object. However, if you hover over each of these, you can see they provide you with a shortcut key. If you press L, it's a line. If you press R is an object. If you press I, well not right now, but if you click, say, hold on, I'm getting carried away here. So yeah, anyways, so let's go ahead and do that. Maybe half of the width should be good. I'm gonna go with 660. Remove the border. Click right here, just make it black for fun. I'm gonna click on the plus sign so I can keep the black whenever I need it. And then press V, which is the mouse. Click right there, and that's it. You have successfully created an object. Congratulations. Okay, so now we're going to import image in Adobe XD. And the way to do it is you just have to save the image. So basically just create a new file, which I did right here. It's Adobe XD, and it has pretty much everything I need. I have text, menu, logo, my file saved here, audio, and so on and so forth. So in this case, I'm going to select this image right here, click, and drag it on the object. That's it. It's that simple. And by the way, if you want to see how it looks, all you have to do is click on the prototype at the top left corner, and then you can see it. In terms of the responsive grid here, if you want, you can change the color to anything you like. So let's go ahead and change that a little bit. I want it like that. There we go, so much better now. Okay, so now make sure to save your work at all times. So Control, save, and I am going to do it like this. Just because this is a beginner course, I'm going to click right here, save as local document. If you have the Creative Cloud and you're paying for it, go ahead and save it in the Creative Cloud. You'll save obviously a lot of space, but in this case I'm going to do local because I'm going to delete this file eventually. So let's just write, well, I have this one here, so let's just write YouTube. There we go. Work is now saved. I'm gonna click on this image object here, right click and lock it. So it's right here. Once again, all of the shortcut keys will be mentioned on the right side. It's very good to memorize the keys because in the long run, you don't want to, right click and then lock it. You can just do like, boom, done. I didn't even right click. That's cost. No. That is what you call skills. I just killed it. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna click on the object once again, go to the top corner and place it up to here. Remove the border, click on this and put black. See, I didn't have to since it was white, I didn't have to click and drag it. My black color is right here, so I'm going to place it to that. I want the drop shadow to appear from the top hand, pretty much from the top, fading it down. Let's see, we're gonna click right here. It's called black background blur. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this one right here, click again, and then go to object blur. As you can see right now, it has this, what do you call it? The object is now, I guess, blurry. I don't know what you want to call it, but you can just decrease the screen size. And the way to do that is, once again, you can right click. No, to decrease the screen size, you actually have to go right here and then put, say, 50%. That's one way of doing it. The way how I do it is I press Control or Alt and then the minus sign, and it decreases like that. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't know why, but I'm really tired today, and I'm doing my best to create this tutorial for you guys. So hope I'm doing a good job. Please comment below, give me some positive feedback. Anyway, so I'm gonna place it right at the top as possible. As you can see, the object continues all the way at the top. However, if you click on outside of the artboard, you will only see from here. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. Okay, and now I'm going to decrease the transparent a little bit. So let's see, I think 80, no, I'm going to go with, let's go 90. 90 is so much better. Okay, 90 is great. Bring a little bit down. And now I'm going to lock it. and begin adding the logo, menu, and things like that. So let's go ahead and add the logo first. I'm gonna go back to my folder, Crunchyroll logo, click and drag at the top. Just for safety reasons, never click on any images or any objects that you have saved and drag it to the image or on the artboard. The best thing to do is always click and drag and put it outside of the artboard, just to be safe. And and obviously the icons and logos needs to be SVG if you can get them. Icons 100%. Logos, they can be PNG, but SVG is the ideal way to go. So I'm gonna place it on this grid right here, and it can just, I'm just gonna guess it right here. It's gonna eyeball it, make sure it's right. I'm going to 2, 7. Let's do 175. There we go. Okay. Height is fine. Okay, cool. All right, and now I'm going to place text on it. So if I just press T, then the text appears like that, and then just write, I don't know, like text. Put this right here. I'm gonna change the font size to 20. And once I click on this drop down, I have options of different fonts. So since I have downloaded a lot of fonts in Adobe XD, I'm going to try Open Sans. It's one of my favorite one. I'll go to click on bold and then go over here and select color to white. Okay. As you can see, Crunchyroll has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it has 5 text. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is 1. I'm going to place it right here, not outside, inside. I will click on Open Grid, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will also expand it to here maybe. And now check this part out. This part is so cool. So I'm gonna go here, click on the menu folder, and I have right here all the names. So shows, mangas, news, games, store, premium. As you can see, it's the same thing right over here. So here's what I'm going to do. And this is why I love Adobe XD. Check this out. I'm gonna click on this and drag it on the first text right here, and boom. That's right. That's right. Okay, now I am going to just break it for a second and click on these two guys and have them just, I guess, semi-bold or regular. I think regular, yeah. And have one of them bolded because as you can see, oops, as you can see on Netflix, this one is bolded. Their font size is quite small, but that's okay. We're doing this for fun. This is no UX, it's only UI and designing it on Adobe XD. So don't, bash me for this oh, yeah. Okay, so now let's work on the icons on the right side. Oh, and also one more thing, to make sure that the alignment spacing is correct, what you're gonna do is you're going to select all of this, click on this guy right here, and boom. See that? Now it's perfectly spaced between. So if you click right here, looks wonderful. Now we're going to work on the right side, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for these icons, I went to this website right here, the non-project. Once again, non-paid sponsorship whatsoever. I go to this website every single time when I need icons. Link for that is in description below, and yes, it's free. Also, feel free to donate to this website if you like. I have already saved the icons into this folder right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all of these guys and put them, boom. Oops. That kind of went wrong. So I'm just going to decrease this, go right here and throw it like that. As you can see, these are all SVG. Well, they have to be. So therefore I can just double click on this layer right here, this black layer right here, and boom, delete it and still use this. Okay, and I can also modify these icons, change colors, etc., etc. So therefore, when you're working on icons, they have to be SVG. So this I'm going to work on later. Go ahead and take that and select all of this like that. Click on this right here and put black on it. As you can see, everything has changed. So I'm gonna click on this icon right here and press shift on my keyboard, click it on the corner, and everything will shrink. If I don't do that, see, it just like moves, it resizes in a weird shape, and you don't want that. So click on the icon. You can also click on all of them and hold shift on your keyboard and decrease it. So it quite works out nice. I'm just gonna take all this, Control X for me, Command X for those of you who is using Mac. There we go. So the way to make sure that I have the right icon here, I'm gonna click on this artboard, and you see this cursor change to this shape, a weird shape. I'm just gonna place it like that, and then I'm gonna do the same thing at the bottom here. This helps me adjust how I want my icons to be. Okay. Is this too big or is it too small? Okay, it's too big. So let's go ahead and do something like that. Now I'm going to select the icons and wait a second, I'm going to group this text with Control G is grouped. If you don't know how to do that, just select all of this and press Command and boom, G. Or you can also select all of it, right click, and then click on group. That also works. Anyways, I'm going to make sure that they are properly aligned. There we go. So I clicked on this, it centered everything properly. Okay, and now I also have to create a user profile. So let's just go like this for a second. I'm just gonna ungroup this for a second, and then I'm going to make a circle. Take that and make sure. I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. Okay. Gonna take this guy, maybe put it right here. So what do I need to do first? Search is first. So the search goes here. I guess this one can go here, that one can go there, and then that's me. I didn't even save, so I'm just gonna go in my downloads folder. I should have a picture of myself somewhere. There we go. And I will, you betcha, click and drag. There we go. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to make sure that the spacing between each of these icons is exactly the same as the ones over here. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna click on this, they're grouped. So after ungroup it, right click, ungroup. There we go. See, as you can see, if I'm moving my cursor here, it tells me 28. And if you're paying attention in this area for a second, you'll see that that's also 28 in spacing. So that is what we are looking for. So make sure you do the same thing with all of the other icons. And I'm gonna click all of them and move it right here. As you can see now, everything is properly placed. We have the logo, text, menu, icons. So far so good. Now we have to play around with the background and have a gradient going at the bottom. Plus add the logo, text, and things like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Obviously, make sure to save. There we go. Okay, now for the background color, we'll need it dark. So let's use one of these tab colors here. I'm gonna right click, inspect elements, and see what I got. If I click here, I have 333. Okay, let's see, that's not bad. Do 1, 2, 3. Let's go a bit darker than that. Let's go a little bit like, yeah, this is fine. I'm gonna click right here. Okay, and you know what? Let's do the same thing with this. Let's go right here and click on this one. There we go, much better. And now we can increase it. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, much better. Yeah, much better. I'm going to cancel this grid for a second. I think I should just increase the height of the image. So I'm gonna click on this corner right here, which unlocks it. Obviously you can right click and unlock it as well. I'm gonna go to height. Let's make it a little bit quite bigger more, yeah? Like this, or you know what, let's do 820. 835. Yeah, I think this is much better. Okay, great. I'm going to click on this drop shadow, the one at the top, which I've created, and I'm going to duplicate it with Alt Shift, place it at the bottom for a second, go back to locking this. It's always good to lock your objects because when you're selecting something or working on this artboard, you don't want to end up like doing that, and I hate when that happens. So I'm just gonna select all of this and lock it, and now I have some room to work on this. There we go. So let's go ahead and bring it a little bit closer like that. I'm also going to increase the height. I don't know what this blue line is. I really don't know. If anybody knows, please let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna go at the bottom here and just lock it for 1 second. And now we're going to bring this guy back. Okay, so far so good. We're going to place the logo here, description, and 2 buttons. By that, I mean we're going to do this style right here. Okay, so let's start with that, am I? So the logo I have not here. What am I doing? Okay, here's the logo. I'm going to put it right over there and bring it right over here and decrease it, shift and decrease it. That this should be good. Is it? Yeah, it should be good. Or might a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to take this guy right here. So right click, unlock. I'm gonna duplicate it here. Lock this guy back. I'm gonna borrow one of the fonts. So let's take this guy, and then I'm just gonna keep an extra one on the side. So I'm gonna zoom in and put SERIES series. I'm gonna place it right beside it here, just in case. Best way to crop an image in Adobe XD, since it's not Photoshop, what you're gonna do is you're going to click on this right here. You can pretty much select any one of them, but this is the best option. It's pretty much, you'll be able to crop all around the image or the file, object, whatever you want to name it. So I click on it. As you can see, this blue line has appeared, and it also crops the logo a bit. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that. There we go. And I'm going to just make sure everything shows. There we go. There we go. Okay, so what we need here is just this logo, not the text. So I'm doing this to show you guys, if you have an image, how to crop it out. Obviously this is an SVG. I can just double click on any of these letters and remove it, but just for the sake of it, I can show you guys how to do that. Now if I want the whole thing back, I can just click on this right here. It will come back. So let's make sure that it's selected, and now I can just place it on this object right here, take this guy and put it right here. There we go. Let's just take this one from Wikipedia. God of high school is south. Let's take up from here, should be fine. Okay, now we're gonna take this guy right here, place it here, and paste that. You can also play around with the font type. For example, you can use anything from here. So if you want to cross it like that, you can underline it. You can have each of the letter capitalized like that, as you can see. You can have the entire thing in full caps. You can also play around by clicking here with the spacing. See that? You can also do that. This was about 34. You can play around with the spacing between the letters, as you can see. See that? So you can pretty much do whatever you want. If you want to go back to default of it, just go right here, double click on this, click 0 and press enter. Everything is back to normal. See that? Okay, and then obviously we want this one right here. Bring it a little bit close. Okay, it's perfectly spaced. There we go. All right, so far so good. Now we need to create call to action. We're gonna click on this object here. Click, and just for the sake of it, we're going to drag it up to this much. Remove the border. Let's make this to, I'm gonna say 10. Yeah, 10 should be fine. Okay, so now we're going I'm just going to take this one right here and click and drag it out. Make the font this color. Place it right. So what happens now is, since I've created this object and it's new, it's going to be on top of the existing layers. So there are two ways of doing it. You can just click right here, which is where are all the layers where all the layers are, and you can just drag it at the top. That's one way of doing it. It kind of takes a long time to do it that way, especially if you're in a short deadline. What I do is I just Control X and then Control V. It's so much faster. But in the real world, the way I do it is I'll take this one, and since I know I'm going to place it on top of the button, I just Control C, Control V it, and it's already at the top. Okay, so I'm going to click right here and type watch now. Let's make this bold, and I need the play button. I think I had the arrow somewhere. There we go. Let's take this guy here, Control C. I'm gonna zoom in right over here and then place my mouse in the corner, hold shift and just turn it like that. I'm just gonna pretty much resize it to a point that I feel like is best fit. And also, to make sure that this matches that color, I have the object selected. I'll press I on the keyboard. Now I can just change it to any color I want. And there we go. Okay. And let's move it right over here. Now we can just adjust the button to something like this. Let's see if this fits or not. Now, in order to make sure that this the icon and the text is properly aligned with the CTA or the button, I'm going to group them together, and then since this is still selected, I'm going to also select the object right here, click on this and that. See, now it's properly centered. Also at the same time, whoa, this icon is way too big. I think make it a little smaller like that. Also, since it's group, I have to double click on the object in order to modify it. I think this is better. There we go. Okay, let's see this. Let me just quickly break this group for a second. Ungroup them like that. Bring it a little bit closer, and this should be good. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the object at the back. Drop shadow. This is what I have been always using, and therefore it's by default Y and B. They're 3 and 6, which gives me. I'm just going to take this out for a second so you see the drop shadow that I have applied. It's very light. I don't like to make my drop shadow very heavy, so it's very light. So let's select all of these guys, bring them up right here. That's too much. Like that. Now I'm just going to select and drag it here. Go double click, bang, copy paste, and I need that icon, so I'm just gonna unlock it, copy it, drag it, place it right here with the same color. Go over here and just make sure everything is correct, has a correct size like that. Control X, Command X, and I'm going to delete this. And now when I press Control V or Command V, it will appear on the same spot. That's awesome. And then I'm just going to extend this like that. Remove the drop shadow and pick black, and choose the text and the object, change the color to white. Ooh, this is too much. There we go, much better. To white, and I will also make this transparent. So let's go to, I'm gonna say 85. Yeah, that's great. So now let's go ahead and create the cards at the bottom, which will be these guys right over here. Okay, so let's go and activate the grid once again. It's going to help you out a lot in the future. I know looking at this grid is so annoying, but trust me, in the long run, this will become your best friend. So feel free to play around with the colors, choose the color that you like, the opacity. You can do like, I guess, 0 or dark, but let's go ahead and just do 10%, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click this, put it on top here. Okay, let's not worry about the spacing right now. Okay, and I'm going to have this as, let's make this to 25. Okay, so right now we're going to create one object and use repeat grid for the rest of it. So watch this. So right here, and let's do that. I guess this should be fine. I think I would want to do, you know what? Let's do 315 or just 300. Height, let's do 170, or we can just decrease it to like that and have this one like just play around with it. Something like maybe 250. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so I am going to place it as close as possible, and now I will click on repeat grid. Let's do 6 of them. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You know what? We might need another one. 7. Let's put it as close as possible. 6 or 5. Yikes! That should be good. There we go. Should be good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back to my folder and select all of these images and click and drag it right here. Boom! They are all here. This is so cool, eh? It's a very neat trick. I'm going to remove this border. Now it's so much better. There we go. Try trending now. It should be a good space. And for the image, I am going to increase the height of it more. Yeah, like that. Remove this, and now that's right. Repeat grid all the way. And now I'm going to create another object. Let's do height as 310, or maybe longer. Let's do 330. This is fine. Okay, move it up and have some more content at the bottom. So let's go ahead and zoom in. This is bold is fine. Let's do 20 maybe. That should be fine. This is going to be name of the anime. Select Alt Shift down or Command Shift down. This will be small description. Click right here, make it regular, size 14. Okay, go back here, will be say 2 seasons, and then duplicate that right here and put the year date 2020. I will go right here, create an object, and pretty much make a circle, remove outline. Let's do 7 and 7. That should be fine. Let's select this one and change the color for it into not too dark, but something like that. That should be fine. Let's select all of these guys, click on repeat grid, and you betcha, have it go all the way across, but we will make this to 6 again and have it go all the way across like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import images and text in one click. So let's go ahead and do that right now and check this magic out. Now I'm going to select all of these images right here and click and drag it in this object here, which will automatically, as you can see, pow! Man, I love this feature. Obviously remove the border. I love this feature. Look at that. Amazing. Here, as you can see, I've created this on my notepad. This is the order that I wanted. I will click on this, put it right here, and boom, all of them has changed. Let's just do that. Wow, so much better. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, look at that, Mike. It's quite nice. Yeah, it's quite nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the row number 1, let's call it this, row number 2, let's call it all of this, and row number 3, it's properly spaced. So I hope you know the answer to this. I am going to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lock it, unlock it, and group it, and obviously group these guys as well, along with I'm going to group, you betcha, all these guys. Let's group it like that, and then I'm going to group this one right here. I don't need to do it for the bottom right now, so I'm going to select this row number 3, let's call it that, row number 2, and row number 1, and I'll click on this guy right here and make sure it's bang, properly aligned. Alignment spacing, like things like that, is what increases the quality of your design. It used to take me a lot of time, but now I do it in a few seconds. So font sizes, image sizes, make sure it's consistent. They're all the same. I think we're done. There you have it, guys. There you have it. And there you have it. That is how you create a UI on Adobe XD. If you have any questions, please comment below. Or you can reach me one-on-one either on Twitter, Facebook, or on other social media channels. Link in description below. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Also, this file is available for download in the description below. I'm also curious to see what you have come up with. Shoot me a DM about that. I'm very interested. And download the file, man. Play around with it. Create your own Netflix version of your favorite platform. I love anime, and that is what I did. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.